Thank you all for joining this press call today. American farmers produce the safest, most abundant food supply in the world. Agricultural inputs have further increased efficiency, improved resiliency to disease and drought, and reduced impacts on the environment. Nebraska producers have led the way on all those fronts. Communist China is the single greatest international threat to our country and to our farmers. A communist-led world would mean coercion instead of choice, tyranny instead of liberty, and dictatorship instead of democracy. I continue to fight for an all-of-government response to these challenges. One way to do that is by protecting our key supply chains. We discovered the risk of being dependent on China during the pandemic. Among other supply chains, Communist China has gained significant market share in the production of essential agricultural inputs. I'm talking about things like vitamins, veterinary and pharmaceuticals, and crop protection tools. China now controls over 90% of vitamin C and vitamin B production. They control up to 85% of amino acids used in animal feed. Losing access to these key inputs could have a major negative consequence on our productivity, prices, and food security. A University of Wisconsin Whitewater study found that China's domination of the amino acids market could potentially destroy 30,000 U.S. jobs and reduce economic activity by $15 billion a year. $15 billion. We can't let that happen. We must diversify our supply chains. And that's why I introduced the Securing American Agriculture Act with Democrat Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan. Our bipartisan, bicameral bill will bolster and protect our food and agricultural supply chains. It will also reduce our reliance on foreign adversaries. Specifically, our bill does two things. First, it requires the U.S. Department of Agriculture to conduct an annual threat assessment. This would examine food and agricultural supply chains. It would examine current domestic production capacity for critical inputs. The assessment would also examine current and potential bottlenecks in our supply chains. Second, the bill requires the Secretary of Agriculture to recommend solutions to mitigate threats from Communist China. This would mean recommending new rules or laws to eliminate barriers to domestic critical input production. That way we can onshore more production and protect our supply chains. As I said, this bill is a bipartisan, bicameral bill. Iowa Congresswoman Ashley Hinson and Illinois Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi are leading the legislation in the House. We are working to get this common sense bill over the finish line. So, to summarize, Communist China's strategic control over crucial sectors of our food and agricultural supply chains poses a serious national security threat. Food security is national security. I've said that many times. Losing access to key inputs could reduce productivity, increase food prices, and undermine food security. My bipartisan Securing American Agricultural Act will bolster and protect these supply chains, and it will reduce our reliance on foreign adversaries. It will also protect our farmers and ranchers. I'll always defend Nebraska's #1 industry, agriculture.